All right. We're going to get started. I'll chop off the front.
Okay.
Thanks for joining RCR Wireless News today here in Austin, Texas. Richard, we've crossed paths several times over the past couple of years, and
Indeed.
would love to. Thanks for inviting us here to your office, but would love to hear a little bit background of what Macheen does.
Sure, sure. First of all, thanks for coming. Macheen is all about the generation of devices that more and more are always connected, whether it's a tablet or a laptop or a camera like your camera or others. We're all about enabling those devices to stay connected and be smarter from the cloud. We're a mobile cloud for connected devices. We work with very large device makers and value-added resellers and enterprises on ensuring that all of their devices are connected all the time.
Tell me about the business model.
So we work with very large OEMs, like Lenovo is one of our customers, for them to take their devices and essentially bring them to market with a little bit of our software and a connection to our cloud embedded from the get-go. So that as the products come to market, they're already connected. Not necessarily for people to surf the web without paying, but more for specific network services that the device maker may care about, like having their application store on a tablet always connected, or a VAR might care about, like say a tablet for education, and having the curriculum applications, which are probably largely from the cloud, already delivered and connected. Our business is enabling that. We make money by allowing them to take their devices and their normal go-to-market, and we supply that and we earn the revenue from doing that. We do the same thing for large companies who want to give their employees connected tablets, connected laptops, and where the company wants to make sure their employees can be productive. We have all of those relationships.
Glenda, you're VP of Engineering. What do you do?
So we build software. We build software that allows us to do things that carriers can't do. The systems they use today are very structured, very rigid, and what we've done is we've added a layer of flexibility and only used the basic BSS systems that exist today only to do the bare minimums we need. The rest of it we've built in our own cloud and our own stack to deliver these kinds of specialized services so that you can get Outlook when you're roaming and not have to worry about paying for it. It's always available and always hot on your laptop or your tablet.
At a high level, could you maybe talk about some of the intersection points of your platform with your customers and some of the other ecosystem partners?
Yes, so we offer a set of web interfaces, whether they're APIs or they're actually web pages, that allow end users to purchase our services or allow enterprises to configure your services for you. So you no longer see the actual pages themselves, you just use the service.
So you don't physically connect with the carrier's network. It's all web-based or cloud-based.
We actually, on the other side,
Okay.
we have network interconnects into carriers. And that network interconnect allows us to buy retail, buy wholesale and sell retail. So we can buy bytes and we can make new offers. And those offers could be a combination of always available, pinpoint type services, only Outlook or Outlook plus Salesforce.com, or allow you to get a generic internet access.
Okay. So do the carriers view you as a channel?
I would say sometimes they do. They do bring us opportunities out of the wholesale areas that they can't fulfill themselves because their systems are much more rigid in what they can do.
Okay. And George, you're responsible VP of Sales and Business Development.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about your go-to-market strategy, who you're targeting, and where you are in that distribution strategy.
Yeah, so there's a couple areas we target. Richard alluded to some of them. We start with OEMs because we want to be in the box from the start where we can. And in some cases with the OEMs, we can do white label solutions that are their offering, or it could be Macheen branded. And we also can help them sell it into enterprises or into their reseller channel. We also sell to we'll call them distribution channels, whether it's a reseller of devices or a value-added, like a mobile device management, and those channels, and that can be a situation where they sell it or we help them sell it. And then finally, we have some direct approaches as well, where we'll go into the market and target specific companies or organizations or organizations that we can help them grow. And the message is pretty simple. Today, it's too costly to provide a full data plan for every employee, for every device. And our ability to deliver just what you need means you just pay for what you need as well. And that's something that is unique and very much wanted in the market.
So where are you today in terms of specific accounts and getting traction in particular verticals?
Yeah, the vertical doesn't matter as much. It's anyone who's got a mobile workforce, who's got devices on the move, whether those devices are on the move in a market like Europe or the US or what have you, or it's people that travel between those markets. We can help them in both ways. We have that back end that Glenda talked about with multiple carriers, so we can provide service in many areas around the world.
Okay. Well, Richard, next I'd like to talk about your team.
Mm-hmm.
And you've moved into a role of chairman and strategy officer.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe take us back to the beginning and how this team came to be, and maybe talk about some of the new leadership you put in place.
Yeah. First of all, you alluded to the fact that we're at the crossroads of mobile, which traditionally has been largely defined by the carriers and by the ownership of the spectrum and the phones, plus large-scale internet, plus enterprise software. We saw that from the beginning, and we brought together a team of people, founders and all through the history, that have come out of that environment. We literally cross-fertilized that. We fed that together to create something that had never been created before. As we moved through the last couple of years, we acquired large device makers. We've done deals with a number of carriers in different countries, now live in 11 countries. And we've grown the team around that. We've grown our sales capability and sales leadership. We brought in Greg Stock, who's the CEO and a multi-time enterprise software leader and CEO. We've built out our sales force within Europe to call on major accounts there as well as in the US. And in general, we've built out our engineering staff so that we can continue to evolve the platform. We're in a new area. It does bring together multiple technologies. We're ahead, we're one of the leaders in the area, but it's a matter of building something and representing in the market in a way that we can evolve quarter by quarter, given the market dynamic and how it changes.
In closing, could you maybe talk about the 2 or 3 key milestones that you had to cross to get where you are today?
Yeah.
And perhaps the next milestone or 2 that will define your success trajectory.
Yeah. So the first thing was very much, given that we sit essentially between the carriers or the networks that are providing access, bits and bytes, but where we wish to do something very different with it, and to be a solution that's adapted to enterprise and device makers. The first thing was getting in that position and being able to power a new platform with carrier partnerships. We got that. Then we've evolved the platform and the kind of pinpoint services that Glenda described. We had to basically create totally new offerings that were more adjusted to network services to be always available and not selling data plans. A very different model, different business model, different technology model, different partnerships. What we're doing now going forward is starting to add a variety of different types of devices, so different device makers, starting to work with enterprises on how their policies can be brought into the equation. And then frankly, it's a global problem. So we're starting to increase our footprint and our ability to do business in multiple countries. That's a lot of the next phase.
Well, next I'd like to sit down with each one of you individually and go in a little more detail in terms of the technology platform, your distribution strategy, and the vision for the company. Thank you.
Sounds good, very good.
Thank you.
Do you consider